Governor, this will have to be the last question.
Okay.
Governor, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to my concerns. Regarding civil service reform, Iraq and Afghanistan veterans as a group have the highest unemployment rate in the nation. One of the things Veterans Preference does for returning New Jersey, Iraq, and Afghanistan veterans is it provides us the greatest opportunity of getting employment when we get home, when we're going through that tough transition process. Now, I'm an Iraq combat veteran. When I was in Iraq, my peers were building social networks in their local communities, so to reverse their civil service and eliminate veterans preference, you increase patronage in those local counties and municipalities. This in turn is going to increase the probabilities, the greatest opportunity for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans in getting those jobs that they would normally be entitled to. So I urge you, as strongly as I possibly can, I understand the need for civil service reform. I agree with you on that, sir, Governor. But what I disagree with you on is that you're a leader. You're our legislative leader of this league. If there's going to be any type of civil service reform, and you give it up to the municipalities and the counties, who's going to work over that to ensure that those veterans get those jobs they're entitled to? One of the other things, sir, is I advocate for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. And our unemployment rate is out of control. I have a lot of friends that are struggling. I have friends that are going becoming contractors because they can't get a job any other way. I'm asking you to support legislation that will provide tax incentives for businesses hiring returning Iraq and Afghanistan veterans.
Thank you for your question and for your advocacy for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, and thank you for your service. Let me deal with the last part first. On tax credits for those who hire Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, it's something I'm going to look at. Not something that I've heard about until you just mentioned it today. So let's work together to try to see how we can craft something like that in these really challenging financial times to try to make it something that's worthwhile and can help create jobs. I want to get as many people back to work in New Jersey, veterans and non-veterans, as we possibly can. Because at a 9.7% unemployment rate, and it's larger than that, as you know, for those people who have just stopped looking for work now because they're so discouraged. We need to get people back to work, and we need to create those jobs in the private sector so that they're good, long-term, good-paying, sustainable jobs, but also add to our tax base as opposed to draining from it. And so I'm happy to have our folks get together with you, work through the general, and we will sit down, our policy folks, and talk about ways that may work into an overall plan that we have to try to bring some more economic development to the state. On the first part, what I want to tell you is that the folks who continue to look over how veterans' preferences would be dealt with are the same people who do it now in the Department of Community Affairs and the Civil Service Commission. But civil service, in the way that it has been operated in the state of New Jersey, especially over the course of the last 30 years or so, has become a drain on the way we're able to manage. The patronage that you're talking about can be protected against by also the collective bargaining system and the union system that we have in New Jersey for public sector workers. And that's why I said what we're having here is an overlap and a duplication of government that's costing, if not twice as much, certainly much more than it should. That doesn't mean that veterans' preferences should go away. But what it means is that if we don't have a civil service system as we do today, that it has to be embedded in the collective bargaining agreements as well. So there are ways to get this accomplished, I think, without duplicating service, costing more money, and when you think about all the other things that the civil service system does to harm our ability to be able to effectively manage it, I think its time has come and gone. It does not mean that the veteran's preference in employment needs to have come and gone. It just means that it needs to work through a different vehicle. And so, hell, listen, I don't know what the legislature is going to do. I don't know whether they're going to give me any civil service reform. You know, I work with a Democratic legislature, and sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't. And so what I'm telling you is I understand the particular problems that are being faced by Iraq and Afghanistan veterans who are coming home. We need to deal with those problems directly. And it may turn out If the civil service system is the way that the legislature determines that they want to try to do that, I think there's a better way to do it, and we should all work together to try to make sure that we confront that problem directly. So I thank you for what you're doing, and we look forward to working with you. And I have some people here from my staff who the general can introduce you to afterwards, who can get us working on the tax credit portion of it at least, and see if there's a way we can get that done. So thank you for raising the issue. I appreciate it. I hadn't heard it before, and I'm glad that you raised it. Let me just say to all of you as we conclude that the general alluded to the fact that we're going to do more of these, and I've encouraged him to schedule more meetings with me, with representatives of the veterans community, have question and answer periods like the one we just had, and more of them, in order to be able to hear directly on issues that I would otherwise not know about. Now, I will tell you that the general is a very outspoken advocate on your behalf. And you should also know that the general and I have now known each other for about 35 years. We grew up in the same hometown, our families were friends, and so this is not someone who I just met when I was elected governor or when I became United States Attorney. This is someone who I've known, he and his mother and father and sister, wife and family, for as long as I can remember. He is, as you can probably tell, significantly older than me, but I always looked up to him as an older brother type, and that helps as well. You should know too that you have a zealous advocate on your behalf. And when I became governor and had the opportunity to make a choice as to who would lead the New Jersey National Guard and the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, it was one of the easier decisions I had to make during the transition, because General Reed is someone who understands the mission, who understands service, and who will always be someone who can walk into my office and advocate for your causes and your concerns, and the causes, concerns, and needs of the people who are serving in uniform for us today in the Army and Air National Guard. And so he will be your advocate. I will continue to come out to listen to all of you and to try to turn your concerns into action. And I hope that what all of you understand about me is that what you see is what you get. There's not a lot of varnish here. And I don't think he sent me down to Trenton to run a charm school. And I don't think I've disappointed you in that regard. So we are going to work hard together. I'm going to tell you the truth. Sometimes you're going to like that truth, and sometimes you're going to like it a little bit less. I get that. But you'll always get a straight answer from me, and not a promise that I don't think I can keep. Because you have kept the promises that you've made to New Jersey and to America. And what you deserve in a leader is nothing less. And you have that with General Reed. And I hope that over the course of my time that I'm honored enough to serve as the Commander-in-Chief and the Chief Executive of our state, that I'll earn your trust and your support as well. So thank you for coming out today. Sorry about the weather, and I look forward to working with all of you as we move ahead in the future together to protect our state and our nation. Thank you very much.